Yeah, but like sometimes I think, what am I actually looking for here? I mean, what am I looking for? Like watching all these various videos. I mean, what's the point really? I mean, and then after, I actually laugh sometimes after. Like, what the hell was that?
I do sometimes.
Like, I mean,
get the giggles. And
such a lot of silly fuss.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a stupid. But we're primal machines, aren't we? And it's a very silly thing sometimes.
Yeah,
you know,
we're little biological machines, and there we go.
Little chimps.
All of the sort of cultural ephemera that's grown up around sexuality is absurd, whether it's sort of like, sort of the more, not sanitised, but more ubiquitous advertising imagery, such as, there's a lot of controversy about this bikini beach body thing, isn't there?
Yeah, I don't really understand what the problem with that is.
Well, I think it's, are you beach body ready?
Body fascism, and where people go, oh, look, that's oppressing us. I just think, no, it's not. Models are going to look like that.
Isn't it because it's explicitly because it's like a call to arms? You're not beach body ready. Look at you. You're
how
portly.
insecure are people nowadays? As a like to go, oh, you're oppressing us with these pictures and telling us we're not ready. I'm not ready.
Well, people are extremely insecure, aren't we, Ginny?
And why is it that the models are all like? No one really looks like a model, do they? Like, no one's really that size.
But I don't think that's bad. It's just.
It's an archetype. It's the same as classicism. Yeah. But I suppose
you didn't go around smashing statues. It's got no cellulite in Michelangelo's bum.
But good point, Matt. But I think that classicism had a did it? I mean, it's a question, I suppose. Wasn't classicism more aspirational, or like the Renaissance? You sort of think that these are ideas of beauty that are meant to connect us to the sort of the idealised form of a human, rather than you're not good enough. Buy this sun cream or buy this whatever the hell it is they want you to buy with that bikini body thing. I suppose isn't it like the sort of the commercial undertone is corrupting to make someone feel insecure so that they buy a product is different from going, there are gods, there is an idealised form of humanity. Is it that?
I don't think they're going, let's make people feel so bad we guilt them. I think that would be negative and make people associate that with bad stuff. I think I think they do, because I think the motivating factor of consumerism, if you look at, say you look at party political broadcasts, like every one of them, so to varying degrees, were about promoting a sense of fear. Like the UKIP PPB is literally Nigel Farage in a cap looking out of the White Cliffs of Dover as if he's surveying the terrain for like coming invasion.
Don't you bloody try and get in here, I'll kick you back in. I'll throw pebbles at you. And then the David Cameron one is all filled with children. And then various people going, I want my children to have this, I want my children to have that. So it's sort of like, it's not aspirational.
Quite blunt psychological tricks.
Yeah, of like, if you get someone to be at the point, I mean, obviously, I'm not a father, you are, and if you sort of like, if you get you into the territory where you're thinking about your child's safety, you're not going to be as rational as if we're going to you, do you want a new shirt? So and I think you should get a new shirt, actually.
I've just got this one. I feel awful.
You're not beach body ready, are you, boy? Look at your shirt there.
Yeah, but would you accuse someone who's absolutely beautiful with their top off, right, walking down the street, would you go, you're depressing us?
Well, if they were somehow trying to promote, and I suppose it's the intention, I suppose. It's the idea that there's an intention, like that commercial behind it. Let's have a look at it. Let's get it up and see what it is and what they're about. So, like, the idea is that they're showing you this, they're provoking this feeling, and in order to get you to buy this product. I mean, like, Zizek,
just roll your eyes and move on. People worry about things too much.
Well, because I suppose everyone feels so bloody pissed off that constantly these feelings are being provoked. Well, if you see Zizek's analysis of Coca-Cola, it's amazing, because he sort of says, like, that Coca-Cola's advertisement are entirely abstract. There's nothing at all about, like, drink this drink, it tastes nice. It's entirely, it says, this idea of abstract festivity, that life is meant to be full of this bizarre celebratory Coca-Cola sort of mad tone. But it's like, what is it? He goes, it doesn't relate to anything. He goes, though, if you are in a hot environment, a glass of cold Coca-Cola is delicious, but like they says over the course of it, but now the Coca-Cola is warm and sticky and the illusion can't be maintained, and I suppose it's that because advertisement is perhaps the predominant communicative tool of our time, that if its governing message is one of provoking either fear or desire, and in that instance both, like, this is a desirable woman, and if you are a woman who doesn't look like this, you're not good enough. Like, I guess it's pressing buttons in people, and people don't want that button pressed anymore.
You're all over the bloody tube at the moment, advertising your documentary, all airbrushed up.
Am I? Yeah. Airbrushed up?
Oppressing me. Skinny little T-shirt on.
Do I look a bit of a titmouse stood up there?
No,
with me loud
hailer.
That
documentary's good, actually. We came to the screening, or the premiere.
You came out of it basically want to punch people's lights out.
It makes me so angry.
You wanted to go on a rampage, didn't you? You said it doesn't go far enough.
Kick buildings in and stuff.
Yeah, I feel.
But then about 10 minutes later, I was more angry. I ate a whole packet of M&Ms.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
And then I might as well have glued them to my face for what they did to my skin.
Really?
Lumps all over my face. I don't really eat sugar anymore.
Like that's the impact of an M&M is just like it decorates you now.
Might as well be.
Yeah, I saw the movie. I watched your movie, then I watched Avengers 2 later on.
What's better? Me.
Do you know what's missing from your movie?
The Avengers?
Downey Jr., all the Avengers, 4.
No.
Explosions.
I think the plot of your movie is better than the Avengers.
All right.
But what's better than the Avengers? They've got a definitive bad guy. Your bad guys are invisible.
Whoa.
And that's what's more frightening.
You ready now?
Yeah.
Invisible baddies. Yeah, that is what's frightening about it. It's hard to get any purchase on.
Well, that's one of the points you make. You
Diamond.
can't go around one of their houses and go, "Oh, what's this all about?" Because there's a system in place to protect them.
You end up agging out poor bloody receptionists and security people and stuff like that. But I tried to get over that by being broadly pleasant and jocular in my exchanges.
No, that's fine, and you know you make your point. What is the sort of one, like, if people should go and see it, but like what's that sort of main fact? You know, like the amount of banker bonuses equals pretty much the bailout.
The bailout of 850 million quid that we did at that time,
Taxpayers' money.
Taxpayers' money would have paid for the NHS for 8 years.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's almost the same amount of money they paid themselves in banker bonuses after they got bailed out.
The
isn't it?
80 billion. They paid the 80 billion bonus is the same as the deficit, like the amount
just
that's been given.
To be that.
Yeah,
not that evil. Let's have the exact amount of money.
Well, take that as bonuses, you bastards.
No, it's good.
Yeah,
but it does enrage you. That's what I think you needed to sort of go. What happens is you do that, and everyone goes, "This is outrage," like in The Simpsons, and then everyone goes, "What do we do now?"
Yeah.
And you need to have a very easy thing. They go, right, go online at this thing and register. Do you know?
Yeah.
It needs to be like that, which is what Brian May said to you.
Yeah, but it's so all-encompassing, Matt, that really it's like, well, what we have to do is design a new political system, break the ties between national trade, transnational corporations and ordinary people. I mean, it's like, it's bloody complex alternative
that's what I'm saying.
economic
If someone
system.
just went, right, all you need to do is log on to this website, then it's like a petition, but also await orders or whatever. Yeah. Because what you got to do is when people feel passionate about it, in the literally about 12 minutes after the film until they go, oh, hang on, what are we having for dinner? And then forget about it. You got to capture that. Go, right, everyone get your phones out now. Email this address.
That's how it
get on
should
the
end.
thing. Yeah.
You're quite right, of course. You're quite right. But to be honest, I suppose what it is if you're like, it's such a huge challenge to amount overnight, the idea of, let's create an alternative society, that you've got to make sure, right, you know, it's going to require anthropologists, economists, businesses. I mean, there's so many things.
Yeah, but that's the bigger picture. What was Brian May's thing? He was giving out badges.
I think that's it. It's just badges.
No, it's
and badges. He likes anything like that, doesn't he, Brian May? Badges.
What is he? He's got some. He's into politics now, isn't he? That's the thing.
I think he's really nice, Brian May.
He's so tall.
You know James Longman, who we work with?
Yeah.
He said this mad thing. He goes, every time I see Brian May, I sort of go, is it Brian May? Is it Brian May? But then it is so obvious that it is Brian May that I wonder why I doubt it in the first place. It's like, Brian May's like God to him or something. Really weird approach to have in your own mind about Brian May.
He has got a lot of presence, hasn't he? Because he's sort of like Jimmy Page, another guitarist whose like hair was always curly black hair, has now gone white. It's given him a wizard-like power.
The lead guitarists of the prog rock era had a wizard quality anyway, didn't they? I mean, perhaps they've aged into wizard men. Isn't it strange that that's happened?
They're wise.
They're wise, they're wizened. It's rock guitarists of yesteryear, whether it's Brian May or Jimmy Page. Well, yeah, Brian May clearly does. He wants some solutions, and by jingo, I'm going to provide them for him. Anyway, look, I was in the middle of an email. Back in my early teens, we used phone sex lines, you know, and to get past this lad took his dad's credit card, typed in the credit card number, but changed the last digit. After a few attempts, this worked. This is fraud info.
That is fraud.
Don't you dare do that at home, do you? Well, that's not up to me, is it? I go through to a longer message, and I got through to a longer message. It was rubbish. I got bored and hung up before it got to the
could have ruined someone's marriage.
Of course he could have done. Yes, he could. And check out the inconvenient nature of this apposite sentence, Matu. I got through to a longer message. It was rubbish. I got bored and hung up before it got to the juicy stuff. Oh, you dirty devil, Craig. I hope that my 5 minutes of horny boredom didn't leave someone trying to explain their credit card bill. It likely did. If you ever leave something at a hotel, they won't call you, will they, and go, you left your socks here or your DVD here in case you were having an affair, like most people were. And a friend of mine...
Is that a policy?
Yeah, it's a policy for hotels. Like, because I've left stuff at hotels and go, couldn't you ring me about that? And I go, no, just in case you was having an affair.
There's about 20 affairs. Not when you're married. I mean.
Absolutely, make that clear. Or in any relationship, just affairs of the heart.
Affairs. Well, affair means that doesn't always mean it's.
Could mean anything.
Could mean anything.
For the purposes of people listening.
Could mean anything.
Could mean anything.
The simple love for a man and his bike.
Yeah, coming up we will be talking about a man's simple love for his bike through the prism of a Siamese twin. I know someone that worked in a members club, and they were trained to never, like, when you greet people, never go, hey, good to see you again, like last time. Like, they're just, you have to do generic greetings. You don't go, hey, in case
really?
Go, when were you here
think
again?
About it that much?
Yeah, because if you work in hospitality, like, you might have took someone to some posh members club to impress them, but really you're a married man and you shouldn't have done it.
Right.
So look, the world's full of deception, skullduggery, and lies.
Fact about hotels as well. If you ever lose your phone charger,
Matthew, how dare you? Come here, answer the teeth with facts. Go on then.
If you lose your phone charger, go to any hotel. Go up to the thing and go, oh, I stayed here a little while ago and I lost my phone charger. Then they'll bring out a box of phone chargers and have one.
That's your tidbit. That's Matt's tidbit. Matt's tip of the week. Go into hotels, everyone. First, he comes up with telephone neighbours. Let's face it, a crap idea that he'd nicked. Secondly, now, what he's saying is to you, the British public, or people of New Zealand, or Australians, or Americans, or anyone from a foreign land speaking in the English language, go into a hotel and go, I left my phone here when I was staying here.
Charger.
I will charge you.
Animal.
Get out of my hotel. Yeah.
Go in there, go, I've lost an iPhone charger. And they'll go, oh, hang on. And they'll always got a big box of them. Otherwise,
how many times have you done this?
Never.
Tell me the provenance.
Never. I would
Why
never
is this
do
in
it
your brain?
It's immoral.
Why is this even in your mind?
What?
Why have you got this happening to yourself?
No, I think you know those things. What I think on the.
What were you doing in a hotel? What were you doing? Where have you been? Why have you got sick in your beard? Where did you
there was
get
a thing on the internet I read called life.
Why are you
hacks.
wearing hot pants? There's a thing on the internet called what?
Life hacks. You know, like things like try this for a.
Oh, I love a life hack.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Especially since I've been place hacking like it's 1999.
You done any more of that?
Yeah, I've done some really dangerous ones. I clambered into a train station. I clambered over a 12-foot high wall. I hurt myself. I'm covered in bruises. I look like a man in a bad marriage.
Really?
Which I've also been. But mostly, I'm a climber. I'm a whiner, I'm a diner. I'm a man who takes on the authorities.
I'd love to watch this. I reckon these fences are very low.
Well, this morning there was loads of paparazzi outside my house, so I clambered out the back window because I was thinking parkour, like, you know, do some parkour.
Yeah.
So I parkoured out my window. I broke it with my knee. Like, that was before I basically was 90% of my body was still in the house. I'd already broken a window. Because it's very hard to get out of the window's quite high, and it's one of those windows you push it out on a little lever, and then, you know, you have to put a hook through a hole. I hate that. It's one of those types of windows. Do you know what I'm talking about, Matthew?
Why such an old-fashioned window in your garret?
Because I don't know, it's from the old days, isn't it? So I clambered up, and it's very hard. I got one leg through, and like that was sort of dangling there, all sort of daft and limp like a tail feather.
I wish the paps had just lazily walked around the other side of your house and gone, oh, this is good.
Who's this dope?
He's hanging there like Mr. Bean.
And then I got my other leg out, and then I got down, and then luckily there was this woman whose name is Moon. She was 20.
What?
There's a woman whose name is Moon. You know, like, say, like, you know, back streets, you know, like it's all sort of air vents and all that. Well, her flat somehow backed onto my flat, and she was there on the window, I think smoking a fag or something. And I sort of clambered down, then I clambered across. I had to climb down a little ladder, and I had to jump off of a ledge onto an air vent-looking thing. And when I jumped, it all flexed and went, and made all sorts of mad, cartoon, bloody, stupid noises.
Are you just playing Donkey Kong?
Then, hold on a sec. Then I'm a plumber now, and when I got to there was a fierce gorilla, and I said, you'll give me that lady back, Sonny Jim. Another barrel, and yet another barrel still. Who are you, Donkey Kong?
What did Moon say?
She didn't respect me for my jump. She said she said you're hardly cat-like, and I thought it was quite a good jump because I was planning my route down into this courtyard.
Yeah.
and I'd have had to have done a bit more of a jump. She said, I don't think you'll make it on the basis of what I've already seen of you. And then there was another ladder that went down 2 stories, quite a long ladder. It was like, imagine, it was about as high as where we are now, Matt. Here we are at XFM on Leicester Square. It was like, so it was about 2 stories. But like, imagine, like, say you're watching a sort of a black and white film. There's a bloke at the bottom holding the ladder, isn't he?
Yes.
So there was no